What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Still the off season, things are going a little bit slow here on the Jets end, so I'm going to be talking about Pierre Luc Dubois and Patrik Laine, because I posted a video about 2 years ago, I guess now. It has 150k-ish views, my biggest video on the channel. I loved watching that video. It was about Patrik Laine, and it was about, how much he impacted the city of Winnipeg. And then at the end of the video, I did say, Patrik and Pierre Luc Dubois seemingly have their new homes for a long time after this trade. And that couldn't be further from the truth. I love that video, but it really did not age well at the end. Of course, Dubois not sticking around very long in Winnipeg, getting traded, we'll talk about that in a minute, but now Patrik Laine, of course, not wanting anything to do with Columbus anymore and getting traded to the Montreal Canadiens. So we'll start with Dubois. Of course, he did play with the Winnipeg Jets after being traded mid-season in the 2020-2021 year, where essentially he played a shortened season, played 45 games, put up 21 points between the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Winnipeg Jets. The Jets didn't get what they wanted initially with Dubois. He didn't play very well out of the gate, some COVID issues, but just really not living up to the hype here in Winnipeg. And it was a little bit scary because it was like, wow, you just traded a guy that was scoring 40 goals a season for this Pierre Luc Dubois guy, even at the end of the year playing on the fourth line. It wasn't that impressive. A lot of people were freaked out, but we said, okay, let's give him another shot. In the next season, he put up a career year at the time, putting up 60 points, and it seemed like the Winnipeg Jets had their captain of the future, maybe even. That offseason, he said, nope, I'm out. And didn't want anything to do with Winnipeg long-term, said he would not play for them, would not sign a long-term contract. He played out his last year with the Jets, 73 games, put up 63 points in a very streaky season for him. And in that offseason, he would be dealt to the LA Kings. To a surprise to everyone, it seemed like he was stiff-arming his way to Montreal. The Montreal fans were gloating. They said, we've got our guy. And that didn't happen. Pierre Luc Dubois found out that the LA Kings had interest in him, and he wanted to go to LA way more than Montreal. And that's what ended up happening. But the package might have been the most surprising part here. Felt like this came out of nowhere. It was Gabe Vilardi going the other way to Winnipeg, along with depth forward Alex Iafallo, Rasmus Kupari, and a second-round pick owned by Montreal. So a high second-round pick ended up being the 37th overall pick. What the hell? That was insane. No one saw that coming. So Dubois is an LA King. Now, he then signs an 8-year, $8.5 million deal to sign with the Kings, and all he has to do is play out the first year of that contract, and an entire full no-move clause kicks in, so he can control his destiny. He'll never have to leave LA if he doesn't want to for the length of that contract. And Dubois went out to have maybe one of the most underwhelming, disappointing, bad seasons, lazy seasons in a long time. He put up just 40 points in a full 82 game season with the Kings, often banished to the bottom six. That was supposed to be their, Kopitar replacement in the future. He was supposed to be a huge part of this team going forward, a great player to have with Quinton Byfield. And Pierre Luc Dubois just dropped the ball. Plain and simple. He was absolutely awful. And everybody was thinking, okay, well, the Kings are stuck with this contract forever because how are you going to move him now? High cap hit, lots of term, no move clause kicks in very soon. What are they going to do? And the Kings shocked everyone, actually moving Dubois to the Washington Capitals for Darcy Kuemper. And that's a really sad moment for LA Kings fans, the team, everything, because Dubois was supposed to be a guy to come in there and really be a staple for the next 8 years, maybe even a top-line centerman that a lot of people still think that he can be, but they end up having to move him for an aging goaltender with a high cap hit. It's pretty sad, man. So you lose Gabe Vilardi, you lose Pierre Luc Dubois, you lose Kupari, you lose Iafallo, and you lose that second-round pick, essentially for Darcy Kuemper. That's pretty tough. We'll talk more about Dubois in just a moment here, but now we're going to look at Patrik Laine, a guy that had great success early on in his career with Winnipeg, still some of his best seasons, but was moved for Pierre Luc Dubois and traded to the Columbus Blue Jackets in the 2020-21 season. in his first year in Columbus. He had an up and down year, but he put up 21 points in 45 games. He was again attacked by COVID. He had some injury problems. 21 points with the Blue Jackets, 24 total that season. But after that, he would jump back to life. Point per game player with Columbus the very next season. 26 goals, looked like the Patrik Laine of old, but again could not stay healthy. Same kind of thing in the next season. Streaky, sure, but 52 points in 55 games. The guy is playing his ass off. In 23-24, again, injuries plagued Patrik Laine, and that's been a theme for the last 3 seasons. He's putting up pretty decent numbers, just 9 points in 18 games, so maybe he fell off a little bit, dealing with some mental health problems, and just stepped away from hockey for a little bit to take care of his mental health. And of course, everybody supported Patty, and that's awesome, but he carried a very high cap, and he was supposed to be a big part of this Columbus Blue Jackets team, and he informed to Columbus that he no longer wanted to be there, needed a new start, just needed to get out. And so they scoured the trade market, many rumors, having the Winnipeg Jets in it, Patrik Laine return. That would have been really cool, but he ends up heading to the Montreal Canadiens. And this was a really cool trade because I think that he's going to have success there. I am not a Canadiens fan. Of course, the Jets and the Canadiens, we go back and forth, little Canadian rivalry there. But Patrik Laine going the other way to the Montreal Canadiens. Dubois and Laine are going to forever be linked together just because of the trade that happened and the weird spider web of trades that have gone on since. And this might not even be the last career update video on these guys. I fully anticipate Pierre Luc Dubois to have a very good season with the Washington Capitals, of course playing with an aging Alex Ovechkin, but they've done some stuff over there to retool the Capitals team a little bit. Maybe they can be a wildcard team this year. I'm not really sure what they're going to be up to, but if Dubois can bounce back and show some of the promise that he had in Columbus and even with Winnipeg for a short period of time there, I think that they can do some very good things. If Dubois applies himself and actually, cares about hockey, maybe they'll do great. I don't know. Maybe if he's not so focused on hanging out with his celebrity friends like he was in LA, maybe he goes out there and plays, actually cares, actually puts his mind towards it, they could have some success. For Patty, I think it's all mental, right? I think he's in a way better spot now. He said he's in a way better spot. He seems healthy. He's taken some time off, and I think that's exactly what he needed. He had a lot of stuff going on with his family. Of course, his dad passed away, and it just was not a very good situation for Patty, playing in a situation that he didn't want to be in. And overall, I'm really happy for Patrik, and I hope he thrives in his situation in Montreal, where he doesn't need to be the guy. They have other guys there like Slafkovsky, Suzuki, other rising stars like Lane Hudson. He's going to be all right there. He doesn't have to be the guy, but it would be really cool if he was. Laine, I wish the best to you. Pierre, I hope that you can figure your life out, man. Of course, you're making good money. You're doing your thing. But at the end of the day, it's really embarrassing to watch Dubois out there just doing figure eights every night, maybe score the odd secondary assist on the power play, but that's about all. The number 2 and number 3 picks of the 2016 draft are essentially reclamation projects at this point. I think, Patrick's case, if he comes out, scores 30, 40 goals, okay, it's all forgotten. The guy's back on track. He's going to be a superstar. Good for Patty. For Dubois, the pressure is definitely on him, and I don't really know if he cares that much. He's never really cared in his career, it seems, and but that's just kind of where I'm at with it. If he decides to care, like I said before, I think the Capitals can be really good, and he can legitimately be a lower end 1C, but at the end of the day, right now, the Capitals just acquired a guy that has famously not been giving 110% and had 40 points in an entire season last year, making $8.5 million for the next 7 seasons. So each guy has something different to prove. Dubois has to prove that he is a guy that cares about hockey and is putting hockey first, and Patrik Laine has to prove that he is still the big goal scorer that he was in Winnipeg and even in Columbus for a little while. So we'll see what happens with these guys. I just wanted to make a career update on these guys. Definitely one of the more intriguing storylines as a Jet fan. Watch both of these guys. I have a jersey of both of them as well. I don't know. I'm a big fan of Laine, and I hope he does well with Dubois. again, like I said before, I just hope he figures it out. No ill will to Dubois, but I just don't really believe that he really puts hockey first. But it's just my thoughts. What do you guys think? How do you think the rest of these guys' careers are going to go? I want to hear from you guys down below. Definitely leave a comment, let me know. But that's all I got. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next one. Go Jets, go. Bye-bye.